could... No! Oh, hiya folks, welcome to the show. Sorry, you've caught me at a bad time at the moment. See, I'm trying to figure out what episode of Hercules the series I should review next. This question has taken over my entire life. I mean, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't break out into show tunes whenever someone makes an unintentional reference to them. So those that saw my last review will know I have made a shocking discovery. That the airing order for Hercules the series is a complete mess. With the series having 2 seasons that released simultaneously, with one running in syndication and the other airing on ABC. So the pilot episode of the series was actually the premiere of the 2nd season, and was released shortly after season 1 had just premiered its 10th episode. So I decided from now on I would review the series in production code order. But there's one teensy-weensy, insignificant but ever so crucial detail. There is no episode 2. 8 episodes of this series don't have a confirmed production code. Hercules and the Assassin, which I already looked at. Hercules and the Comedy of Arrows, which is episode 18. Hercules and the Long Nightmare, which is episode 43. Hercules and the Arabian Night, which is episode 44. Hercules and the Aetolian Amphora, which is episode 45. Hercules and the Odyssey Experience, which is episode 48. Hercules and the Spring of Canathus, which is episode 50. And finally, Hercules and the Tiff on Olympus, which is episode 52. Now, I could just call Hercules and the Assassin production code 2 and move on, but that episode is a sequel to Hercules and the Secret Weapon, which is number 7. So I'm taking a huge leap of faith here and saying episode 18, Hercules and the Comedy of Arrows, is actually episode 2 of the series. And with that, take it away, Bob!
Hercules and the Comedy of Arrows.
Oh. Is it too late to watch a different episode? So, we start with a flower sprouting up in the underworld.
A flower. Nature's cheerful little reminder that
I despise spring!
Remember that time when Hades came up with a brilliantly evil plan to trick Hercules into giving up his strength, right before revealing Meg was working for him the entire time, thus crushing Herc's spirit and allowing him to free the Titans and take over Olympus? Or heck, even in the last episode, when he tricked Poseidon into rerouting the river Styx, thus making Greece part of the underworld? Now he hates spring. Hades is frustrated because apparently whenever spring comes, there are less souls coming to the underworld. The reason?
Spring love means long lives. Love? Blech.
I have no jokes here. Aside from being a creep to teenagers, Hades has been the one thing so far this series always seems to get right. So when he starts spouting lines you typically hear from a 6-year-old on the playground who doesn't want to catch cooties, it makes me very worried for what's in store today. Hades says something about turning their business into being bad for love. Honestly, I don't even know at this point. We wipe transition over to the cafeterium, where I never imagined I'd be happy to see Icarus, but here we are. He's lamenting that Cassandra is apparently in love with a guy called Melampus.
Oh, Mel, stop.
Yeah, she's under a spell. Hercules says she's just being nice, which, Cassandra? Nice? I don't think so, as Icarus is insistent that he's not jealous and... oh no. I just thought of 10 different plots this episode could follow, and not a single one of them makes for a semi-pleasant viewing experience. Okay, maybe that's going too far. I mean, come on, we're only 2 minutes into the episode. Let's see what they do with it. I mean, this series has surprised me before. Okay, either she is under a spell, which is not great, or the writers completely bent Cassandra out of character to make this storyline work.
How can you stand this guy? You! Look at him!
Alright, skipping this scene. Ah, here we go. Hercules tells Icarus he can't control love. Well, that's not good enough for the guy who never should have been let out of the basement.
Maybe not.
but we all know who can.
On one hand, Aphrodite would make this episode marginally less painful. On the other, I really don't want them to drag her into this. Actually, no. He goes and sees Cupid, who they've never actually met prior to this, except for that one minor appearance at the end of Hercules and the Secret Weapon. And they really decided this was the design they were going to keep using. Literally every single god in the series kept their original design from the movie except Cupid, and I don't know why, because I would much rather look at this for 20 minutes than this. Is it so wrong to ask for a little consistency in my 90s spin-off series that was designed to cash in on a movie that ended up being a financial disappointment to the company?
Welcome and good morning, cherubs.
Good morning, Cupid.
Someone got paid to draw these things. Let that sink in. So Cupid, voiced by Tom Arnold, who I would love to do research and talk about his previous work, but we have much more pressing matters to attend to.
Aren't you a little, tall for a cherub?
No.
I just wanted to take a fun look at the only Disney spin-off I hadn't seen before. I didn't ask for any of this.
I'm just vertically advantaged.
Whoa, take it easy. Love doesn't discriminate, and neither do we.
Progressive? Pain and Panic infiltrate the operation and disguise themselves as cherubs with a simple wardrobe change, even though they have shape-shifting powers and can turn into anything. But then they would have to make some new character designs.
Now, that's nice and all, but when do we get to shoot these babies?
Really? We're doing this again? And then my heart almost stopped when I thought they were really about to give this a song. Thankfully that doesn't happen. Pain actually rather takes to being in the love business, which, if they try and give Pain something vaguely resembling a character arc here, it may just barely be enough to redeem this episode. Or they could just immediately forget about it. Icarus is making arrows while obnoxiously singing about his jealousy, which causes it to be corrupted and turn green. Get it? Turns out you can only make love arrows if you have truly pure and loving intentions, so it's mandatory that all the cherubs must constantly be in the happy place while working, which just sounds like a hyper-toxic work environment to me, and that's further proven when they fire Icarus for not being happy enough.
It has absolutely nothing to do with your height. And we'll be asking you to sign an affidavit acknowledging this on the way out.
Hades is happy with the aptly named loathe arrows, and I just summed up a 1-minute scene in about 5 seconds. Icarus sneaks into school, despite being a student, and tracks down Cassandra and is about to shoot her when Hercules decides to rejoin the episode and stop him.
If Cassandra likes you because of some arrow, it isn't real. You'll never know her true feelings for you.
This actually gets through to Icarus, who immediately regrets his actions. Hallelujah! And it's not just for show, as he instantly attempts to destroy the loathe arrow, which Hercules gives him a hand with. I never thought I'd be so proud of someone for reaching the bare minimum of being an okay human being, but yeah, well done, Icarus. But then Pain and Panic arrive and start shooting people left and right. This montage also includes a surprise cameo from King Salmoneus, who I guess is a somewhat better person now, at least to a point where he's willing to sign a peace treaty. Cassandra and Melampus are proclaiming their love for each other, but that's mercifully cut short by parentheses having an important announcement.
School is closed until further notice, which is not nearly long enough if you ask me. So that you can all go to war.
Okay, episode, I've got to hand it to you. I was not expecting that.
Cassandra, you didn't have any of your visions, did you?
Ever since I've been with Melampus, I haven't seen anything except his rippling biceps. Do it again.
I swear, if this episode doesn't end by revealing Melampus stole one of Cupid's arrows and shot Cassandra with it, I'll complain about it to no end. Meanwhile, Icarus is exercising a little something in society we like to call personal growth. Just kidding.
She's mine, you hear me?
Hercules spots Pain and Panic, and I really like this interpretation of Herc as a big teenage-shaped ball of anxiety.
He must have cast a diabolical spell or poisoned our drinking water or created an alternate hate universe.
Icarus tells him what's what as Cupid finds all his cherubs are missing.
Cherubs, babes, huh? Stick around. Too cute, gotta love it.
Hercules and Icarus arrive and explain the situation as Hercules forces Icarus to own up to all his mistakes, which he does and vows to make things right. It's almost as if the writers remembered people are supposed to like their main characters. But they'll have to be quick as Athens is having a lot of barbecues. After a pointless detour of Herc, Icarus and Pegasus avoiding Pain and Panic's loath arrows, they're finally ready to set things right. There's just one issue. Hercules and Icarus travel to the underworld to free the cherubs while Cupid distracts Hades. But not before Icarus burns in lava. After about 50 arrows, Hades finally succumbs to the power of love. And speaking of 80s love ballads, that's the style of our song in this episode, sung by Icarus with backup from the Muses. And, well, he's a much better singer than Cassandra.
Tie your diapers on tight, time to take flight. Make your aim true to the mark.
The song has really simple lyrics, but I gotta say, it is catchy.
Look who's spreading the news, no one can refuse. Making love blossom and grow.
While Icarus is taking care of the school, he spots Pain and Panic about to shoot Cassandra.
Now young Icarus has to choose. So much to gain, so much to lose.
His conscience is tied in a gnarly knot.
Icarus shoots Pain and Panic, and let's be honest, we always knew. As they destroy the loath arrows once and for all, Icarus has fully accepted that his feelings for Cassandra are not mutual, and makes amends, even reconciling with Melampus. And that's how the episode ends. Yep, nothing else happens after that.
Please, come on, just help me out.
This episode has given me a lot to think about. I mean, it's not good, let's get that out of the way right now. But it may have altered my feelings on Icarus, even if slightly. Hercules and the Comedy of Arrows did wonders when it came to exploring Icarus's character, showing both his worst and his best. Ignoring the ending stinger, you actually got the sense he fully learned his lesson and had grown as a person. At the very least, being able to accept Cassandra is with someone else and doing the right thing in the end. I know next episode the status quo will reset and he'll be back to stalking Cassandra, but for a brief moment, I can say I really liked Icarus. However, outside of that, and a pretty good song that will not leave my head, the episode doesn't really have a lot going for it, and overall is just kinda mediocre. And the fact it has to contort Cassandra just to make its plot work doesn't help. Yeah, I give it 2 symbols of the gods out of 5. I was going to go with 1.5, but the fact this episode made Icarus likable easily earns it another half point. One thing my parents always taught me is that it's unhealthy to hold a grudge, especially against cartoon characters. So, from this point on, any previous animosity I hold towards Icarus has been wiped clean and I'm ready to start fresh. So, Icarus, pal, you've got yourself a second chance. Don't blow it. Thanks for watching, folks. See you real soon.